Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Investing Bros.
Guys, nothing today. That's a big nothing burger for Monday, June 12th. Not seeing anything there. Let's go back to the 2-star. You'll see nothing for today. But tomorrow, Tim, CPI data, core inflation rate month over month coming in tomorrow, and the inflation rate. Currently at a 4.9% inflation rate in the United States. Consensus says we're down to 4.1. This is really close to getting down to the 3% mark, in the 3% range. I mean, 3.9 is only a couple of tenths away from there. I've been showing you guys Truflation for a while now, and Truflation has us at 2.75, neutral today from yesterday's move. So well over 2.2% below what the United States federal government is saying. And you know, the federal government, they're really good at numbers and everything. Speaking of people that can't handle money, let's get over to liquidations. Looking at a total liquidation amount in the last 24 hours, about 61 million. Looking at Bitcoin, 11.5 million of that on there. 5 million of that was in long, 6 million in shorts. People were expecting it to keep going down. We kind of hit that stagnant mark and got a little bit of pump up, which we're going to show you on the charts in a minute. Ethereum sitting at about 10 million. All others sitting at 4.9. Oh, what do you know? It's Binance. Binance getting all that liquidation action going on over there. Somebody was somebody else's exit liquidity. Congratulations. Guys, trade smart. Trade smart. Stay primed.
2 days left here until we get our FOMC meeting, and we get to see the beautiful face of Jerome Powell speaking about interest rates once again. Looking like a pause is imminent, and we're going to get our first one in over a year. Yeah, it looks like they're still expecting, with a 51% prediction, saying that we're going to see a 25 basis point rate hike in July, but then we end the year in December. Oh, this is new. This is new here. So now, well, nope, it just reset. All right, well, this is not new, guys. It's saying we're going to end back at 5 to 525. Not anything necessarily changing there, but long term, that should be bullish for Bitcoin. Speaking of bullish for Bitcoin, we're back down in the neutral over the weekend with that big dip down to 47. We're getting closer down to the fear. That's a good sign for Bitcoin. We'll be talking in the news section here a little bit more later on in the show about some bullish stuff happening with Bitcoin and what whales are looking at. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and go over here and do some TA this morning, brought to you guys by Chart Prime. Phenomenal indicator. When it comes to Chart Prime, you guys are going to see on this channel, it's like our default TA. Like, I love fundamental TA, and I'm a big fan of it, and I use it as well. But I am just loving these oscillators. All three of these oscillators are Chart Prime oscillators. I'm kind of done with the other ones. I'm done with RSI. I'm done with MACD. I get everything I need from these ones, and then some. This is the daily chart right now. You guys can see the most recent flash we had was an or sold flash, but we did kind of drop back down to these levels. But here's the biggest thing that you guys should be taking away right now is this green line right here that we on Investing Bros have been talking about for literally months now. We've been talking about this level ever since all the way back here in January. Once we broke through it, wait for a pullback to retouch this, to turn this former resistance level of the bear market into support. Well, guess what has happened, guys? We now have come down to retest this line over the last couple of days here twice, and it is still holding up very, very, very strongly. What I'm seeing here is not only this flat level of 25.2 holding up, but the other one I told you guys this last week, this is about a week old. I drew two lines here, and I wanted to see which level of rising support would kind of play out. The yellow line is kind of following candle body closes on the daily chart. The blue line is kind of following candle body wicks of these last two touches. And at the moment, this yellow line is holding up right there where we met the 25. I do believe that we're going to be shooting up here off this yellow line, off the green line, back up to the upside. Let's go over and take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here, guys. And this is something that there's a lot of different opinions on. 50% on Bitcoin dominance does look like it is coming into play very, very soon. Technically, we got all the way up to about 49.69, but it's not officially 50%. But take a look at what we see going on here. I've seen other support on Twitter, other analysts saying the significance back here in April when we broke this long-term resistance level, these touches right here back in July of 2021. What was happening back in July of 2021? That was the big dip after Elon and Tesla sold their Bitcoin, when we saw everything drop in price, but yet we saw dominance kind of go to the upside. We then had another touch over here back in June of 2022. Of course, what's happening in June of 2022, we're sitting middle of the bear market. But I told you guys, watch out for when we break this red line, we could potentially start to go up. I think there's a chance maybe Bitcoin makes it all the way, maybe even up towards 55%. It's a little high, but definitely conquering 50% happening here very soon. And sure enough, despite the fact that there was a lot of kind of sideways movement and indecision, the price is moving. In a article we read later, it highlights this, but look at what we have going on here, guys, with these kind of double bottom touches right here. This is flat Price action, the RSI is moving to the upside. We got 2 oversold flashes on both of these points. This is majorly bullish. We talked about this. I guess I didn't say it on the show. I made a video for somebody else actually discussing these waves, getting out of money flow, and how those are great bottom calls. So keep your eyes there on that as well. Cardano, which by the way, guys, I'm sitting here on Kraken chart. If you guys didn't scoop up some Cardano, you must hate it, and that's completely fine. It wicked down here to 21.75 cents. Talk about an amazing buy.
You started to say don't buy Kraken, and you said don't buy crack.
Kraken chart, do not buy crack. Let's go back to Cardano, though. We have a very high, this is a daily chart, guys. Look at the volume wick right here that we got on the daily chart here for Kraken. The only time we saw this outdone anytime recently, and which includes the FTX debacle. We had the big dip back in May of 2022. That, I believe, May was the Celsius. Was it Celsius or Terra Luna? It was one of those big ones that made a lot of prices fall. So we had a lot of volume. People sold off their Cardano. But this wick, as we set technically a new bottom to this bear market, is a massive bullish sign, in my opinion. I'm going to look at the oscillators real quick. I'm sure they're going to be flashing at me. Yeah. Massive oversold signals. Look at this price action falling below the money flow. That is classic bottom signal behavior.
That's the trend ribbon, and it's now starting to curve up. Yep, that looks very bullish.
Our RSI is sitting down at 6.44. Oh, look at that. The last time we were this low was the bottom of the bear market before, all the way back here in December of 2022. So a lot of good signs here for Cardano.
Looking at Ethereum here, guys. First off, we had this drop. We were calling this out on over the weekend here. So down she goes, down she blows. But right now, guys, the oscillator's looking pretty decent. The cloud is starting to tighten here in the lower half. So we could see maybe a little bit. I told you guys last week that I did see, if we broke that levels that we were at, around that 1775 range, that we were probably heading for the golden pocket. So if we do get some downside, be watching for that 1700 mark. Nice psychological number right there. Money flow does look like it's starting to curve back up here on Ethereum also.
I kind of hinted at it earlier. Let's start off with the bullish side. We got 2 different stories, bullish and bearish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin eyes a bullish scenario as thousands of Bitcoin are acquired by whales. That means that Bitcoin is close to a bottom, if not already at the bottom. The whales know. The whales know that Bitcoin is sitting in a great spot. That's why they keep on buying. But let's go ahead and read the article here. In a recent report from crypto intelligence portal Santiment, it has been revealed that Bitcoin's prominent investors, commonly referred to as whales, have amassed an impressive number of Bitcoin despite the recent 10% dip in price. These whales, who hold anywhere between 100 to 10,000 Bitcoins, so that's what a whale is in case anyone didn't know, collectively accumulated an additional 57,500 Bitcoin. Not $57,500 worth of Bitcoin, 57,500 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin, guys. This accumulation has created a noteworthy bullish divergence that hits at potential strong rebound in the near future. With this notable surge in whale holdings by approximately 1,000 Bitcoin daily, oh, that's a lot. Despite the declining prices, there are strong indications that a bullish scenario may be on the horizon. These intriguing findings providing optimism to the market and suggest that a potential robust recovery may be in the cards for Bitcoin. All right, so even though we have whales buying, Bitcoin bearish signal, miners are selling at the 3rd largest scale ever. According to data from the on-chain analytics Glassnode, miner exchange flow hit a peak value of $70 million recently. The miner inflow to exchanges is an indicator that measures the total amount of Bitcoin that miners are transferring to wallets of all centralized exchanges. Generally, these chain validators deposit their Bitcoin to exchanges for selling-related purposes, so this kind of trend can have a bearish effect on the value of the cryptocurrency. On the other hand, low value suggests the selling pressure coming in from miners may be low right now, as the cohort isn't depositing any significant amounts to exchanges at the moment. Binance CEO CZ responds as data points to billions in exchange outflows. I'm going to read the accusations that were made, and then CZ kind of gives them some clarity here. A lot of FUD right now surrounding Binance, in case you didn't know. While the data suggests that crypto assets have been flowing out of centralized exchanges at an accelerated pace over the last week, Binance CEO CZ argues it may not be as bad as it appears. So here's the accusation. According to Nansen, there have been a net outflow of $2.36 billion from Binance over the past 7 days, along with $123.7 million outflowing from Binance.us. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. CZ kind of clarifies, though. Let's start off. However, in June 10th Twitter post, CZ argued that some exchange outflow data can be skewed, as some third-party analytics measured change in assets under management as outflow, which would include times where crypto prices declined. CZ instead claimed that the firm's outflow over the past 24 hours on June 9th was around $3 $692 million. That's a lot lower than the billions that were acclaimed, which pales in comparison to the $7 billion one-day outflow that was recorded last year in November around the time of FTX's collapse. He goes on to say, Simeon only measure outflow, not inflows. Only on sharp price movement days like today, many arbitrage traders move a lot of funds between exchanges, usually exponentially more than on normal days. Pretty much what he's saying is, guess what, guys? Yes, technically speaking, money moving off exchange could have hit $2 billion in that week. The problem is they weren't measuring what was coming on. And the net outflow for that one day, rather than being in the billions, was only $392 million. So this is a nice thing to see. You know, if anyone's still freaking out watching these numbers because of all the stuff happening with Binance and the SEC and Coinbase, the truth is Binance is not struggling right now, despite the fact that media is very much going to want to make you think that way. This is the bigger story that I do believe could have massive impact. Top Hong Kong leader welcomes Coinbase and crypto companies. Hong Kong politicians invite Coinbase to apply for crypto license. Contrary to regulatory environment in the United States, Hong Kong leader NG, I don't know how that's pronounced, so we're not going to try, had on Saturday wrote an open invitation to the likes of Coinbase and other crypto trading operators to come and apply for regulatory license in the region. I hereby offer an invitation to welcome all global virtual asset trader operators, including Coinbase, to come to Hong Kong for application of official trading platforms and further development plans. Please feel free to approach me, and I'm happy to provide any assistance. Recently, Hong Kong made news by allowing retail investors to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. As a result, there has been a rise in demand for some of the Chinese crypto coins, although not as much as anticipated. What are your thoughts about Hong Kong reaching out directly to Coinbase and other exchanges, asking them to come to Hong Kong?
This is the foundation of time of when the United States lost its footing in the blockchain technology world. I won't even say crypto. This is where they lost their footing in the blockchain technology space.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Great job. Now, if you want more content like this, whether it be TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins, or you just want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest news in crypto, then stay tuned and tune in to our 9 a.m. live show every single weekday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you tune in live, use the keyword grip strength in the chat, and you'll get a special shout out from anyone who's paying attention to the chat. Love to see you there.